Did Bob Baffert bring you all you hoped and dreamed of for this holiday season?
Hello and welcome to Trust the Profits. I'm the Formula. I'm here with El Hombre, and this is possibly our last recording on YouTube before the end of the year, our last 2021. How's it going, El Hombre?
Going well, man. Having a nice holiday season here, trying to get some things accomplished as 2022 comes in. Got some priorities on the Trust the Profits front, including everybody's favorite top 25 contenders for the Kentucky Derby, which is acclaimed worldwide. I mean, people hang on with bated breath. They wait every year to see what we can say about the top 25, which eventually narrows down to a top 10 and all of our top 10 videos and blah, 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 blah. But it is December 28th today, and it is way too early.
Way too early. We've got more than 4 months before the actual Kentucky Derby itself is underway, and we're already starting to get into who we like and starting to whittle down that list. It's a power ranking, if you will. It's almost like we're trying to predict the Super Bowl in 2024. But El Hombre,
say this, it would also be too early 3 months ahead of time too. So
it would.
Why not start now?
Yeah, wake up those hibernating bears and let's get rolling. El Hombre, let's talk about the Tour de Force.
Yes, if you haven't heard the news on the Tour de Force, Season 3 follows directly along with the Kentucky Derby and the Triple Crown prep season. Starts January 22nd, which is, I don't know, a Saturday in like 3 or 4 weeks from now. And pretty much has races that follow the path to all the Derby contenders. And we already have over 40, close to 50 entries. It's going to be awesome.
Busting at the seams with almost 50 entries so far. And, with time to go, like you said, 3 to 4 weeks away, we're going to fill that thing up pretty tight.
It's already looking like the most competitive field. It's going to be awesome. And it's a good way to, follow along with who's who in the Derby trail. And I mean, it kind of makes it inevitable that you will learn all the players in the game way ahead of time.
Another way to learn all the players in the game is to follow us, Trust the Profits, on YouTube, as we talk about week after week our power rankings. He's got his, I've got mine. We combine them for the major Trust the Profits power ranking, and we're going to tell you, we're going to crack that nut open right now and let you know what we're thinking on this day, December 28th.
So as mentioned, we have a top 25 list of contenders. Way too early.
Way too early. Let's put that out.
We fully recognize that probably half of these horses will not be in contention at the time of the Derby. Probably out of the 20 starters in the Derby, probably, if we're lucky, we have 10 of them here, and it'll be 10 from off the board that aren't even on the scene yet. But it's still fun to look at this. And, I will say that this is our third year doing this, and we did have the winner the last couple of years up on our first rendition, which is this of our top 25 list. And we haven't missed too badly. Of course, there's, like I said, half of these horses will not be there at the end, but
absolutely.
Why not start now? It's fun.
It's fun. Anything you want to say about your 11 through 25? I think if I'm looking at mine right now, Messier, I forgot what race it was recently, but it's coming up short on what it was, but it didn't come in first like I was expecting. I had that one singled, so that was a little bit disappointing. He dropped way down for me because of that. Another Baffert horse, Pinehurst, is on there. Zandon, I think I might put him up a little bit higher even than 11. Spoiler alert, maybe you got him up there. And of course, I've got to put a filly. Echo Zulu is looking like a sensational filly. I'm always pulling for at least one strong filly to make it, right?
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a good thing to do. It's similar to putting a turf specialist in here, which is another thing you like to do. I've kind of over the last several years of doing this, I have found that 90% of the time they don't end up in the Derby trail. They'll drop out or just not commit, and then you're kind of sitting here with your hands in your pockets saying, well, my number 9 guy is nowhere to be found. in
Or they,
April. So
or like Rock the World, they do commit and then they come out laying a turd when Derby Day comes,
yeah.
and you learn the hard way.
So
So
outside of this, I mean, we have Command Performance, who was a Breeders'
yeah,
Cup top favorite. We both have him involved. Wit, who has had a lot of
yeah,
talk. I see you have Papa Cap. That's a lot of talk there. I mean,
for sure.
Osborne's getting a lot of love. Osborne's a horse I think can creep up this list. I've got him way down there.
Yeah,
I mean, we have to see more. It's obviously we are most of these horses at this point have 1 to 3 races under their belt. There's not a lot of data, but
yeah, yeah. And I'm a fan of Shipsational. Hard
oh,
name to
good God,
say.
we have to say that thing all year. I actually hope the horse
We might
fails just based on the name.
just based on the name, so you don't have to say it anymore and
Although
slur
the
through it
sire
like I just did.
midshipman, the sire treated me
Yeah,
pretty well back in the day. So
yeah, exactly. So let's get started with our number 10. Do you
yeah,
do you want to go first with your 10? Shall I
yeah
go
we're
first?
gonna
Ping
focus
pong?
in on the top 10, which is
Yeah,
and I'm gonna try to navigate this sheet here live, which
yeah.
is if I screw it up, who cares? I'm doing my best. So
If you screw it up, we're just gonna
here
have
we
to
go. Watch
fire
this.
you. That's it.
There we go.
Whoa.
I don't want
All
to sit
right.
out. I don't want to expose too much. Number 10. I'll go first. I've got
Please.
White Abadio by the man bun himself, Safi Joseph.
Yeah.
Race day the sire. I believe this horse is it's won its last 2. I've got notes on it that are not on this sheet. I don't want to
Yeah.
be beat up in the notes here,
It
but
didn't win its last 2. It won its first 2. But it's been running like high 80s, low 90s when you look at the Echo-based speed figures. And the last race it was in, Churchill Downs, the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes, it came in 3rd place.
which was a
Um,
pretty stacked field.
it was a pretty stacked field. Smile Happy number 1, Classic Causeway number 2, and White Abadio was, a few lengths behind the leader, but still, like we said, that's a pretty stacked field with horses we're talking about in the top 10 for the
So why
most
don't you
part.
with that, why don't you go ahead and give us your 10th here? I see it's
Yeah. So Cyberknife, I did have higher. I did keep him in my number 10. As you may have followed us on Twitter, I did say that I had him number 5 and I dropped him down on my list. He broke his maiden recently, would have broken it earlier if he wasn't disqualified in his first race. He's had 2 second place finishes, pretty good speed figures in the low 90s for the most part. And this is right now the best Brad Cox horse I can see in the field. Gun Runner was the sire, but I did not like the way Cyberknife finished in his 3rd race. He was up ahead, looked like he was going to stretch it out like another horse did earlier, which we'll get to in a second. A few races before Cyberknife, he let Jeeper, I think the name of the horse was. Yeah, he let Jeeper really close the gap towards the end to the point where it was, you give him another half of a furlong, and Cyberknife does not win that race. So I dropped him down a little bit because of that. Definitely don't think he's out of the talk, out of the Derby talk because of that. But
no, I agree.
definitely a little bit of cause for concern. We're not talking about an essential quality Brad Cox horse here, but I was looking for some sort of Brad Cox horse to go in the top 10, and
And I guess
Cyberknife was my horse.
if you wanted to talk in generalities about what we mentioned a second ago,
Yeah,
2 things I noticed overall in the top 25 lists, and I guess in the whole Derby Trail list of characters that I've seen on several other sites, you'll see.
yeah,
To me, Brad Cox does definitely not have the power that he had last year,
right.
which could easily turn around. He's a hell of a trainer, as we know.
4 months. I mean, a lot can
And
happen in 4 months with 2-year-olds.
exactly. And I've also seen Gun Runner has so many colts in this thing. It's incredible. Like
Gun runners all over the place.
yeah, it's we'll see. I mean, this could be a big Gun Runner year. There's a ton of 2-year-old possibilities here in the Gun Runner lineage here. So
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Papa Cap. That's another gun runner right there.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely, yeah. And you'll see more as we go up this list, and there's plenty below outside of the top 25 as well.
Yeah,
9, I have the Dougie O'Neill Nyquist sired Slow Down Andy. Again, this horse is I've seen this horse as high as a top 3 contender on some lists, and
Yeah.
I don't. It's too early to tell. I mean, obviously,
for sure.
a Nyquist has had some nice colts in the last 2 or 3 years. I don't know. I don't see the numbers putting him much higher than ninth for me. Although, again, as we've said 100 times already, it's way early. So
Yeah.
tell us about your ninth place or ninth rank.
Yeah, my ninth place is Annapolis, which may catch a few people by surprise. I like the speed figures on Annapolis. It's a Todd Pletcher horse. Irad is the jockey. This is a horse that will probably drop down on my list though. It's won both of its races, broke its maiden with a 81 Equibase speed figure. 95 as it won the Pilgrim Stakes. It is a turf horse as of right now. I'm curious to see where it goes, where Todd Pletcher has this thing going. If it stays a turf horse, based on what we're going to see over the next month, I'll probably drop him out of my rankings, or at least drop him down a little bit closer to where we have Tiz the Bomb. But right now, I wanted to slot him in at the top 10 and just see how it feels. He did beat Portfolio Company by a head in that Pilgrim Stakes, had a 95 Equibase speed figure, so I wanted to give that a little bit of credit.
And we know you're a sucker for
Yeah.
fillies and turf horses, so we can't.
I
Go
always
ahead.
want to squeak one in there. Yeah.
Let's run it back with your number 8 here, since it matches up with my. See, I told you I was going to screw up this the balance.
I didn't see anything. I did not see anything.
Look, I don't want the world exposed too quickly to what would change their course of action for the next several months. So
Yes, my number 8 was your number 9. That's Slow Down Andy, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So Slow Down Andy, 3 races, two firsts and a second. He beat Messier, right? We were just talking about Messier. Beat Messier in the Los Alamitos Futurity race. That would be a 1 and a 1/16 mile on dirt race. Looked pretty strong in that race. Ended up beating Messier by a length. So you got to give credence to that, right? I mean, that's a pretty big deal. I had Messier much higher before that race. So,
all right, on the 8 on my side, I have the Constitution sired Major General by Todd Pletcher. Major General is 2 for 2.
yeah.
Also for what it's worth, has 10 Derby points on the board already. Which, I mean, if you're going to play that game, it's a little early again. Yeah. Since as you get into the March and April months, all you win to get in. So the 10 points that he has now, I believe it's 10 points are basically meaningless, but it does show that he's capable of scoring in some bigger races, some of these bigger prep races. Yeah, and as we all know, they all get bigger as we go along here. So let's go. Yeah. Number 7. This is a horse that I initially had on my number 1 radar for a long time.
I'm sure you did.
Jack Christopher, my choice for Breeders' Cup, my choice for everything on earth up until he's had an injury that's I've heard is going to sideline him for 2 or 3 months, which, I mean, we've seen it before. It's precautionary for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they could put him out there and run the horse and potentially kill the horse if they were idiots. But Chad Brown's not going to do that. This is a horse that, I mean, all systems say go for on time for some real Derby preps. He's not going to be too late. He's just going to be about ready when it comes time to get into those Florida Derby, the thick of it. So he's going to have to win a major, and he's the type of horse we've seen it. I think everybody can agree he's capable of it.
Oh, yeah.
This horse is it's pretty undeniable to me that he will be, barring any further health issues, he'll be in the mix.
Yeah.
Who do you have at 7 here?
Yeah, I've got Mo Donegal at 7. So Mo Donegal, as you may or may not know, right? So won the Remsen, broke his maiden at Belmont before that. Identical speed numbers on Equibase. This is a pretty impressive horse. I think we were both expecting him to break his maiden in late September at Belmont. I remember when he was coming up, we all had Mo Donegal targeted to come out of the gate screaming, but didn't happen until mid to late October for Mo Donegal. Another Pletcher horse, Irad on the mount. I mean, this is and Uncle Mo as a sire. This is a pretty strong horse with a real good pedigree.
Yeah, I think you'll see I've got him a little higher. But yeah, there's no question he's another one that's on pretty much everybody's radar.
Yeah.
So let's move to 6. Who do we have at 6 for you?
At 6 for me, we got Major General. We've said Todd Pletcher's name about 100 times, and right, I mean, Todd Pletcher's got a full stable for this 2022. Kentucky Derby. Um, so he won the Iroquois Stakes, broke his maiden, hasn't exactly run the same speed figures as, say, a Mo Donegal has. But, this is a horse, Constitution's a sire. This is a horse that could, once we start running in those New York, Northeast prep races, you could start to see this horse gearing up. This is one of the ones that could come out of that area, right?
Yep, at 6, I have Zandon, who I believe you brushed over. You had him at 11. I've got him
Yeah,
at 6. Another Chad Brown horse. Lost by a head to Mo Donegal. So
a
basically,
nose, if
yeah,
that,
less
right?
than
It
a,
was
yeah,
close.
less than a head. And if you believe in Mo Donegal, then you should probably believe in Zandon too. And I believe in both of them are top tier contenders.
Yeah,
Um, it's an upstart joint. Chad Brown. I think this is the type of horse that he reminds me of. I don't know, like he's probably going to be very much in the picture early on in the Derby preps. He's going to
yeah,
win. He's going to win one of these. I don't know, second tier Derby prep races, and then he's got to go prove himself. Kind of like I don't know. I'm trying to think of who to compare him to from last year's prep races.
yeah.
I don't know if he's absolute like elite form, but he's up
Like a
there.
midnight bourbon or someone like that. Horse
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
yeah, maybe along those lines where he's going to win early on, probably score some points, and
yeah,
he's going to have to prove himself to go in there against a Jack Christopher or some of the others we've named, Papa
yeah.
Cat, Mo Donegal, Corniche, some of these big name horses that we're going to touch on here in a moment. But I think he's just outside of that.
Yeah, I mean, I see him, and I'm assuming he's going to be running in that New York conference, right? If he was one of the main two horses in Remsen, which wasn't really strong last year, didn't really produce a whole lot of
Who won the Remsen
heavy.
last year? I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, I had that written down from our last. I think it was Brooklyn
Ah,
Strong. Brooklyn Strong won the
Brooklyn
Remsen
Strong
last year.
sounds right. Yep.
Faded right away. We never saw him in another
In the mix all the way
Aqueduct or
through
Belmont.
the at least the early months of our top list. So
But really didn't see him running a whole lot, right? I mean, all these races
something
came up.
happened, and I think he had one real bad race,
Yeah.
and I'm not smart enough, or maybe too many beers have passed through my brain to recall, but there was a race that he pretty much told the world that he was not on the level.
Yeah,
I think he
yeah,
went out there and tried to. I think it was one of those races where Midnight Bourbon and Hot Rod Charlie and those the horses that tangled a bunch of times. It was one of those,
yeah.
and he was just nowhere to be found.
The Southeast Conference horses, the SEC
Yeah,
tournaments. Yeah,
yeah, he was kind of the Georgia to Alabama.
yeah,
So
exactly.
sorry, everybody that's involved in that. I don't like either of those teams, but it's kind of that same feel.
Yeah, but I'm curious to see what's going to come out of that area, assuming those horses stick to that region this year.
Yeah,
I'm very
yeah,
curious to see what comes out of there this year, to see if they've got another Tis the Law, maybe not a Tis the Law, but at least a horse that gives you a little bit more intrigue than Candyman Rocket did last year. Brooklyn Strong.
oh,
It seemed
yeah.
to be a different horse every week and never a horse that stuck. And we
You're
got to
right.
the end and we had like a smattering of horses that, were maybe in the 15 to 20 range for the Derby, and that was about it. So
Very
it's
true.
exciting to
Good
see that
track.
changing this year. Yeah.
Let's go. Top 5. Here we go. This is our elite now.
All right. You want
I'm
me to
gonna
go first?
go.
Or you got it.
I'll go because I don't think there's
Sounds good.
anybody on earth who is not familiar with Rattle and Roll at this point.
Rattle and Roll.
The Futurity winner, Breeders' Cup, Kenny McPeak.
Yeah.
The horse has looked really well. I mean, really top notch in almost every category you can see.
Yep.
I don't have any doubts about him. The last time out, just before the breeder, about a month before the Breeders' Cup, he put down a race that really convinced me that he was legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm standing by it, even in the face of the fact that there's some question marks on him. Do you have any insight on what's going on with Rattle and Roll?
Unfortunately, I do not. Impressive horse though. When he broke his maiden right in Churchill Downs in September, he was in the lead by 3 lengths, and then in the Futurity race, right, the Breeders' Cup Futurity race, dropped a 99 Equibase speed figure, and I
Exactly.
think he was in the lead by 4 lengths when he won that one. So I am in complete agreement with you on this being a top 5 horse. McPeak has a really strong stable, real strong top tier stable this year. I think he could be doing some damage, and if this horse is healthy, this could be one of the horses that's doing some major grunt work here.
Absolutely. Who do you have at 5? Because this is somebody I think that's a
Yeah,
little off the radar, and it's good to see that.
I think he's on the radar now. Epicenter is my number 5. If we're just talking about the Gun Runner Stakes, just a couple days ago, dropped a 98 there, won that
Yeah.
race. I think by
Welcome
5
aboard.
lengths. What's that?
I said, welcome aboard to the big picture, right?
Yeah, won that by 6 lengths over Tejano Twist, Surfer Dude. Rocket Dog was supposed to be challenging him in that race, and it didn't happen. It was good to see Epicenter really step up. This is an Asmussen horse. Um,
And I'll give you
had
credit where credit's due. You had him on there before I think almost everybody else jumped on the wagon.
You think so? Okay. Yeah, maybe
Yep.
I did. When he broke his maiden in November, that's when he hit my radar. He dropped a 97 when he broke his maiden in Churchill Downs in mid-November. So right away, I was starting to take notice, and I figured that this would be a really good coming out party for him. I had him on my radar. I was expecting to single him until I saw some of the horses he was stacked up against, but I was very happy to see that should have singled him, right?
Absolutely. Let's
Epicenter,
move.
yeah, I've got him in my top 5 now, which may be high for some people, but I think he's joining the party. I don't see a lot of horses that we've named already that I think should be above him. Maybe I can make conversations and take arguments for some of them, but I think he's right where he should be in my opinion.
All right, let's go to 4. Who do you have here? You have Rattle
I
and
think
Roll
Rattle
now.
and
So go ahead
Roll.
and give your piece.
I mean, we just talked about Rattle and Roll, right? I mean, winning the Futurity the way he did, if that horse is healthy, I mean, we're going to say the same thing about Jack Christopher. If as long as the horse is healthy, this is going to be a horse that is going to be in that top tier. That is going to be, a horse that you're potentially looking to bet on for the Kentucky Derby. This is going to be a horse that you definitely want to watch in all of these prep races. I'm excited about this one.
Yep, my number 4. I'm going Papa Cap, another gun runner horse. We mentioned the gun runner, the strong fielded of colts that gun runner has supplied this year is pretty impressive. Mark Cassie has Papa Cap. This was second place in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yes. Yeah, second place to Corniche, I believe, right?
Yes, correct. And
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no reason to. For me, I put a lot of credence in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yep.
Year before, and again, it's. There's some years where you'll see 3 or 4 of those horses come out, and they are the Derby contenders, and you see other years where it's a complete airball. I believe it was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You looked back at the Breeders' Cup Juvenile was a complete joke.
Yeah.
Other years, like last year, I mean, you had Essential Quality and some others that looked good all the way through the prep season. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of how much you believe in the Breeders' Cup and how it converts. And it's different. I mean, you're looking at a teenage athlete as far as a human being goes to how do they convert to a good 25-year-old athlete as a college or professional. So
Right. Exactly.
at this point, I see no reason to doubt Papa Cap. I see you have him a little lower, although you have him in the mix. So
I do have him in the mix. Total respect. Second place in the juvenile is respect worthy, right? I forgot who got second place in the juvenile last year. Was it Hot Rod Charlie? Maybe it was one of the
second. I think Hot Rod Charlie was third.
right.
Yeah,
It was one of the horses that
I
was
get your
in the
point.
mix the entire way. So I expect Papa Cap to essentially do the same. But um, for some of the same reasons that I didn't have some of those horses higher last year is the last 3 races hasn't won, right? I mean, you look at the American Pharoah Stakes, lost to Corniche there again. Obviously, losing to Corniche, that's not a huge black mark, but
Yeah, right.
still, when I'm looking in the top 5, I'm looking for horses that are just winning, essentially, right? And then the Run Happy Del Mar Futurity came in 4th in that race. It was a stacked race, though. I mean, we could talk through those horses and make cases for them. You got Pinehurst, Phineas, and American Experiment above him, all really solid horses. But that was the reason I have Papa Cap, obviously lower than you do.
All right, let's go to 3.
3, I got Jack Christopher.
Yep, you got
JC. Jack Christopher, what can you say? Broke his maiden first time out at Saratoga back in August. Ran in the Champagne Stakes, Belmont, dropped 104 Equibase speed figure, won that one. I mean, this is a horse that was just running away, dashing away from the field. I want to say beat some pretty good horses in that race too. If I'm going to look it up real quickly, I just missed my
No,
boat there. Beat
he's
Command
done nothing wrong.
Performance, Command Performance, Wit, My Prankster, Gunite. Yeah, like you said, has done nothing wrong other than get injured. That's why you've got him lower. I'm looking past the injury. If I have to drop him down because the injury is too severe, then I'll do so. But I at least
Nothing
want to
hurt
put
me
him up in
more
the
than to
top
move
3.
him down. Nothing
Yeah,
hurt me more because I think we talked about him 6
yeah,
months ago at least, and I told you,
forever
remember
ago.
this name.
Yeah,
I think it was, his maiden race, whatever.
yeah.
I was like, that horse is a monster.
We were
And
both texting each other. Did you see that thing? Did you see
yep.
the distance that thing put on? Did you see the race it ran? Did you see the numbers it had?
So for me to
And
throw him down at 7, it hurts me. It hurts me, baby. I'm just
yeah,
being real
yeah.
still. I have
Uh,
Mo Donegal at 3, the Uncle Mo's,
oh wow.
the Uncle Mohors, Pletcher. I think
Yeah,
Pletcher is Pletcher's got a stable coming this year,
he
guys.
really
I don't
does.
know. I don't know how much you believe in it. This is the Remsen winner. You touched on that.
Yep.
Remsen winner is what did we come up with who won it last year? I'm sorry, I'm
The
drawing a blank.
Remsen, yeah, we did. We came up with Brooklyn Strong.
That's right,
Wasn't
Brooklyn
so
Strong.
impressive. Yeah.
Yep. So I think Mo Donegal's better than that. I think
Absolutely.
there's a chance that this horse is a top 3 all the way through. And at this point, I like him. I like what's happening. I think the Remsen's probably the biggest prep race we've seen outside of the Breeders' Cup races. I go with what we have right now, and on most of these horses, we don't have a lot. So
Yeah.
to take a race down like that, I'm good. Let's go. Number 2. Let me go first. I'm going Smile Happy. This is Run Happy, which is, if you pay attention to horse racing at all, Run Happy. I don't care if you're a fan of Naira, TVG, name your other 25 betting your betting platforms on the planet. Run Happy has spent $10 billion on advertising.
Yes.
This sire, and it looks like they're getting some payback on this horse,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Kenny
I knew I saw
McPeek
that name
again.
somewhere.
Kenny McPeek, outside of Pletcher, Kenny McPeek has some monsters here.
Yes.
Smile Happy is rated number 1 by a lot of people. And if anybody knows me and my golden rule, there's one reason why he's not my number 1, and we'll touch on that in a minute.
Yeah.
But this horse is no joke. That's the Kentucky Jockey Club winner. He's 2 for 2. He's hasn't done anything wrong. He's monster numbers. Go ahead with your number 2, and we'll talk, because I think we're starting 2022 Derby lists just like last year. We have the same 1 and 2, but in opposite order. Go ahead.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and we do have them in opposite order. This was tough for me, right? Flipping between these two. Part of me putting Corniche number 2 is just the whole Bob Baffert thing, right? I mean, he's not allowed to run in the Derby this year, right? So something's going to have to change with Corniche in order for this horse to win. And obviously it can, right? Obviously this horse is gaining points, and this horse won the juvenile. And this is the reason you have this horse at number 1. Spoiler alert. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Also won the American Pharoah Stakes, like we said before. We've been bringing this horse up because we've already talked about the races it's won. If we look at the juvenile stakes, right, he won that one by almost 2 lengths over Papa Cap, Giant Game, Command Performance. Yeah, I mean, this horse so far has done no wrong, unless we possibly drug test it and find out otherwise. But short of that,
could Baffert still be doing it after all the last 2 years?
Yeah.
The answer is yes. You're right.
The answer is yes, because
why would he still be doing it last year and the year before when?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're right. Good call. I'm sitting here going,
yeah,
he would do it again, and then you just brought me back to reality on it.
Yeah, because he's deflected it every single time. He's come up with a lame excuse every single time. He makes it look like he has no control over his stable, even though he's the most successful trainer in, United States horse racing.
History.
Right?
Yep.
Right, exactly. In history. There's no way he doesn't know what's going on in his stable. That's what it comes down to. Go outside into any other profession you've ever worked in. Look at the people who are at the top. Why are they at the top? Why are they so good at what they do? It's because they know exactly what's going down below. They know the
Yeah.
nuts and bolts. They can go layers deeper than them and understand exactly what's going on within their business.
Yeah, most cases it's
I
somebody who has
guarantee,
the most general knowledge, and you're right.
right. And I guarantee there's no way Bob Baffert is as successful as he is without being able to
No
go
trainers are
multiple layers deep and know what is being pumped into his horses. So I don't want to take, I
nobody's
don't want to
pitching
hear
in the
that
corner in there without
BS.
him knowing about it. So
Jimson weed my ass. Anyway, that's the reason I can't put Corniche any higher. The horse has done everything so far. I have doubts. I have Bob Baffert doubts. Um,
I don't hate you.
has he won 2 derbies in a row? Yes. So obviously there's
And if those two
reason to believe
Derby
he can do it
results
again.
combined cost me $1 billion, yes.
Yeah. Well, you got me to rant, so
But
congratulations
he
on
did
that.
kill. He
Happy New
did
Year.
kill Medina Spirit now, which is
Yeah,
super
that's,
unfortunate. And I don't even mean that as a joke. I mean it's just one of those things. It's like
yep.
it certainly feels like that, and I don't mean to accuse him of that. I mean that's a little bit extreme, but it's fine.
I don't know if it is. I think
I
there's
don't
reason to
think any
doubt.
of us do. So
It,
there's
he
that.
he's brought it on himself. Like I said, anyone who is that high up is not that incompetent. They know exactly what they're doing. They know what's going on. So if something went on
And if
without,
he doesn't, shame on him. It's his.
if he doesn't, he should fix it.
Yep.
Right? I mean, it's the same thing in any corporation, in any business across the world.
It's kind of the question
They fix it.
when you have something failing at the top of your business. Are
Mhm.
you incompetent because you're an idiot or because you're crooked?
Because you
And
don't
which
care.
one's worse?
Yeah.
Would you rather be incompetent because you're stupid, because you don't know any better, or because you're doing something wrong and you can't admit it?
So
And
it's
that's
either one of those two, or it's a third one where he's absolutely lying and controlling the whole thing. And that's the one that a lot of us suspect because he's so successful in what he does. There, I said it.
yeah, good.
Right. And
I I,
so,
I agree 100%. And we're gonna go just skip right over it. Number one. Spoiler alert has
spoiler alert,
happened.
I got Smile Happy, you got Corniche, and I
The
don't
flip
blame you one
flops
bit.
and all the reasons you said for me or for yourself that you
Yeah.
know that he should be on the top is
Yeah.
exactly what I'm going with. I mean, that's your Breeders' Cup champion. He's done nothing wrong except be in Baffert's barn.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, we have 5 months for this thing to hash itself out, and it's going to be awesome to watch again, as it always
Yeah.
is. We're excited. We want to put this wildly mature or wildly premature top 25 list out because it's fun, and we hope you guys have fun with it too. So go ahead and comment below with everything that you think we're an idiot about, please. And
Speaking of being an idiot,
we
I'd
hit
like
us
to
up,
raise one quick question,
go
especially
ahead.
since you have Corniche at the top, knowing that Bob Baffert is not allowed to. All right. So, because you had Corniche at the top, I have to ask, what is the scenario that gets Corniche into the Kentucky Derby? Because right now, Bob Baffert cannot run in Churchill Downs, which means he can't run in the Kentucky Derby, right? What is the scenario you think it's going to take to get Corniche in? Is he going to have to switch over to some like third tier trainer who's willing to take him over for Baffert for X amount of time so that he can clear enough time to? What is going to happen to get Corniche or Pinehurst or Messier or any of these other Baffert horses in the Derby? It's going to be a
Well,
crazy scenario. What's it going to be in your mind?
well, it's not going to be a third tier trainer that he has to hand him off to. It's going to be like a Don Corleone, maybe handing it down to Tom Hagen to figure out, you know, who's the next guy. And it might be
Yeah.
his nephew,
Oh God.
Joey Two Bones or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
maybe Carmine Scarpaglia is up in the booth. He can take control. I don't know, but it's going to be something along those lines. These horses will be there if they're Derby contenders like we think they are. They will be there. Period.
So are you
And they'll
telling me
find a
that there's
way.
going to be like a brand new trainer that is going to pop onto the scene named Roberto Beffertez or something like that?
Yes, Baffert shows up in like a bad
Bad
mustache.
mustache.
That would be so awesome if he did.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Without
like
sunglasses. Yeah.
yeah. Instead of the blue or yellow shades, maybe he's coming out with some green ones
Yeah.
with a black, like mustache. That would be amazing. But
because we are all marching forward. There we are. Lovely. We are all marching forward with Bob Baffert horses in our top 25 and one horse at least in our top 3 in most cases. I don't think I've seen another person not put Corniche at least in their top 3, top 5, right? I think
true,
we're all on
yeah.
the same page there.
Crazy not to.
And at the same time, we know what the rules are and we know who the trainer is. We know that that means that horse can't run. So we know everyone knows something crazy is going to go down. Something weird. It's either going to be something in the court system or it's going to be some shenanigans with trading them between traders. I don't know. But I just wanted to throw that out there for our last 2 minutes.
Mark my word, Baffert, Corniche.
Oh my God.
Corniche will be in the Derby if he's
He will.
if he's
alive.
if he's the same. Yeah, if he is who we think he is, he'll be there.
Yeah.
Regardless of Baffert. And same with the other 5 top Baffert horses.
And I guarantee he is who we think he is. That horse is going to dominate through Santa Anita, Del Mar, whatever the Derby preps are. I have a feeling that horse is going to be like a life is good type horse. But we'll see.
Well, as you mentioned, everybody out there, please have a happy, safe New Year's Eve. Have a very Baffert holidays and enjoy. I hope we hope you subscribe and follow along with this top 25 list because this is the beginning and it's going to go on from now until May 6th or whatever the date is for the Derby this year. It's going to go on all the way. Probably every couple of weeks we'll have an update. So thanks for tuning in. Stick with it. Peace.
And my mic just did it again. It just muted.